Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me get a thumbs up in the chat box if you can hear me. Get thumbs up in the chat box if you can hear me. Let me know if it's too loud or too low. Well, too low, I'm sorry, because it's up to the max right now. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? What up, Dre? T Silver, B Square. Appreciate y'all for popping in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the Baltimore Ravens run defense. And if anything's been consistent all year long, it's been our run defense. And so I'm gonna give you some numbers before we get into the film and kind of correlate to how good the defense has been run wise despite everything that's went on the back end. And I'm gonna go through each week and give you the numbers as far as what the runs we gave up, and whether we won or lost that game. Then we get into the film version to see who exactly is credit for this. Is it the scheme, or is it one person, constantly doing their job, or is it collective? But we're gonna get into it in a minute. But week 1, 72 yards, and we lost that game. Week 2, we only gave up 27 yards rushing to the Raiders. Lost that game. But week 3, 51, 481, 571, 651. We gave up 125 yards to the Bucks, but we did win that game. Next week, gave up 80 yards in week 8 and lost. Week 9 gave up 122 yards to the Broncos, but won. Week 10 gave up 49 yards. Week 11 gave up 122 yards to the Steelers and lost that game. Week 12 gave up 83 yards. Week 13, which is the biggest output of the season, gave up 140 to the Eagles. And then we had the bye week. Week 15, 55, gave up 117 again to the Steelers, but won. And then in week 17, which was last week, we gave up 58 yards rushing. And so throughout everything that's been good, bad, or indifferent on the back end, the run game has been consistent. Let's kind of dig into the film and, see what was going on, what was going good for us early in the season, and then what went well for us later on in the season. So I appreciate y'all for coming in. Hit that like button when you fall in. Let's switch this over. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take clips from different games early in the season, then some later in the season, and see kind of what remains the same. The biggest thing to pay attention to is gap integrity. And for those that don't know what that means, when you have run fits, everybody on the defense, when you see where it's looked up now, everybody has a gap they're supposed to protect. And sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. But if it was obvious, let's just try to draw up some gap fits, some main fits, some run fits. That one, he'd most likely have that. He'd be there, he'd be there, and he'd be there. Now you see they have a lot more people up there, and we have gaps to defend, or it'd be outside. But that's when your safeties and your linebackers come into play. Somebody has to have these extra gaps. Like right here, you have nobody for this left side A gap. So I'm assuming that would be one of the issues where he tried to cross face. Trent would maybe have that gap. Always got this for real C gap right here. Now you still got to worry about these gaps with these 2 tight ends out here. And the more tight ends or H-backs, whatever you put in there, the more you have to have guys to play the run. Because then if you get out of gaps, you're subject to get gauged. But that's what we're going to try to focus on for this video. See who plays it well, see who don't, and just want to give everybody that deserves their flowers for helping us be the best run defense in the league, whether it was late in the season or early in the season. And look at that. You got Brandon Stevens outside, in that gap, fighting to get in that gap, You got roll for cutoff backside, and you got not Trenton. This is Tavius, who had to play Pat Mahomes first, sees it, hand it off, not coming down the line. And you also, at this point, got Marcus kind of playing the alley too. Marcus Williams, yeah, he was still on the team. This was game 1. See how they all getting off blocks? Stringing it out. And then Brandon Stevens, who was an unsung hero on this, he's so far outside that you got to cut it back. That's where the help is. You do a good job of playing team defense versus the run. A lot of times the guy set the edge, and you have linebackers or defensive linemen running to clean it up because we all run to the ball this year. And that was something that jumped off the page Even in the preseason, the defenders, whether it was first stringers, second string, or third stringers, they always ran to the ball in the preseason. The dime. See how Roquan just defeats that? And the funny thing about defense is it don't take but one person to win that one-on-one to make it a good defensive team play. Like this guard right here is supposed to get up on Roquan. Roquan just out-athletes it and is in that gap. See that? But see, everybody else getting blocked. But it only takes one guy. It only takes one guy to mess it up, and then you got a good defensive play for the whole team. Now, here comes the swarm. See Marcus down in the box. You see, I think that's Ojabo. See Marlon down there. Do a good job of running to the ball. This is versus the Raiders, where we gave up 27 yards rushing completely this game. They're drawing. Look at Travis. Watch what Travis does to this. What's this? This is guard. Just look at Travis Jones right here. He makes this guy disappear, almost like a magic trick. Get out of here. Straight hand slap. That's a virtual. What did the five fingers say to the face? Slap. Look at that right there. Where can the back go? Travis, in my opinion, has been a healthy call, and what we've been able to do on the defensive end. When he is not at 100% or not in there, it looks a little different. Him and Matt BK both. Like that right there. Just individuals winning their one-on-ones. Look at Matt BK. How quickly he does this. How quickly he crosses this guard's face. And splits that. Too easy. You also see Travis. So early on in the season, I go out there and say it's Matabika and Travis. Look at both of them right there. Make tackle for loss. Early in the season, Matabika and Travis, they just couldn't be blocked as a whole. You double one, the other one got off. See right there. They're trying to run outside zone. Who is this on the edge? Whoever this is on the edge. If you keep that outside arm free, force everything back inside. See rope lurking. Try to get over top. That's down. Because good job. I think this is Kyle. Kyle set the edge. There's nowhere for him to go but to cut it back. Look at Ojabo coming down the line. Hustle. Trying to be blocked by wide receiver. You got Rose seeing the cutback. Stopping his tracks. Swarming to the ball. Swarming to the ball. Keeping that gap sound. And again, not letting those runs get outside. Great job of turning it back inside by Kyle. Again, Matabike just winning his individual matchup. Tackle is supposed to down block on Matabike. He beats him inside with leverage and goes against the running back. A great individual play, but it's also the standard for team play. Where's the Cowboys? They're just coming down the line swarm. So the first part of this is trying to run outside zone. Demanding a double team. When you demand a double team, that leaves this guy free to roam. And if you make them stay on you, the linebacker should be free. But also, this is the guy that makes the tackle from way on the backside, running to the football. See, and the edge is set by whoever this is right here. Now you got to turn it back to where the help is. And here comes the help down the line. Flat. First thing is not letting it get outside. When you let it get outside, ain't much you can do. Ain't much the rest of your team can do if they can't run. So you got to keep it boxed in. Then once you keep it boxed in, you got to have people that gonna tackle or that want to tackle. You look at Travis right here. Travis just abusing this guard. I think this is a guard. That's the center. He's gonna cross the center's face. In the gap already. The ball hadn't even been handed off yet. Travis has defeated his block and is headed toward the running back. For the T frame. Look at Nate in there trying to get some of the action. He don't want too much of it, but he was already going down, so he got in. Another one versus the Bills. Now, again, when they have these extra people in here, you got to start getting your safeties and stuff involved. And look, just think on gap integrity. That's his gap, his gap, his gap, his. Now, this is where it kind of gets tricky right here with all this. So I'm gonna say Calvin Noah got the true C gap. I mean, Eddie Jackson will have that. Kyle Hamilton will have that. Marlon looks like he's a free guy. But it's like that because number one is stacked down here. So all gaps are accounted for. Ball snap. Yeah. Now, nothing's inside for him because we have the gap sealed. Now, his only option is to bounce it. So Kyle has to keep that outside arm free. Keeps that outside arm free, so when they bounce it, you can go make the tackle, which is what you're about to see. Kept that arm free, didn't stick his head in there. When they bounced it, they ran right to him. Now, here comes the swarm part. Didn't get him down. Look at Rowe coming, Eddie Jackson coming, Marcus coming, Trent coming, Van Noy coming. Look at all them guys in the screen. Running to the football. Running to the football. Just defeating their blocks. They try to run a little counter. Got the crossface by Broderick Washington, a name we don't call a lot. Look at that. On 62. 62 tries to down block Broderick. He just crossed his face. Now, this play is kind of disrupted right now because they lose a number. The 79 not supposed to block him. 79 supposed to pull and get one of those linebackers. They've lost a number now because Broderick Washington defeated his man from the jump. So now we have the numbers advantage. And they can't get the backers. See Trent coming. See Rowe coming. Got a box lead. So you may say, hey, this is early in the season. Okay, let's fast forward. Let's get late in the season versus the Steelers, who like to run the ball. You know, people are banged up. Travis went through ankle situation. Everybody's sore this time of the year. So a healthy, not healthy D-line. Let's see if it still translates. Again, he Broderick Washington. Now he gets pancaked at the end, but he defeated it. He defeated it and made a mess right there. Got Brent Urban trying to seal it, and not sure who that is. Malik. Malik defeats that block with an old school shuck. Bam, get out of here. Right there. So even though some of the players have changed, the results have remained the same. Stop the run first. Stop the run and then do a lot of other stuff after. If you can stop the run and make them one-dimensional, you should be good. And as bad as our defense has been on a whole, we've been the number one run-stopping team from the jump. And it's simple. Let's look at all those gaps. Box, got that edge. Boxed in. Absolutely destroying 73. In that gap right there, If you want to bounce, you got that there. So the gap integrity has been strong all year. And I don't know if there's a holdover from Mike or there's something that Zach preaches all the time. But the gap integrity is strong. He has nowhere to go. Very limited options. Versus the Chargers. One of the teams we may see Pittsburgh too. Versus the Chargers with JK. Trying to run a counter with three guys pulling. Greg Roman Staple. Look at Christian Welch. Again, the players change, boxing that stuff up. Malik attacking the puller, so they don't have a big space to run to. And now because Malik has condensed that by attacking the puller, only thing he got to do is bounce it. And if he bounces it, Welch is out there to get it. He did bounce it, so he had nowhere to go. Malik's in on the tackle. So, I mean, it really, the way it's looking, it doesn't matter who we have in there defensively. The motto is to stick the run. And we got enough guys that can win one-on-ones. It's like this cat right here. Two open. He may have 30 snaps total. Watch this. Because he don't get pushed that way, that's a win. Now, it may look bad because he on his knees, but because he did not allow them to move him off the line of scrimmage, now the back has nowhere to go. Look at all this mess that's in there. Where's he have to go? If he bounce it, you got the edge seal. So 69 don't have a stat for that play, but he makes that play simply by not being moved. Versus the Giants. Look at Travis. Travis gets double teamed right here in the middle. But because he doesn't allow them to move him off the spot and they have to stay there for him, look who's free. This dude. You got to go make the tackle. Owe got outside leverage. Now Malik, I will say Malik's wrong. Malik need to be on this side of whoever that tackle is or tight end or whoever that is. But all the gaps full, and you got a free runner. And you got a free runner. So now they try to come off, but at this point, nowhere for him to go. Now the big then won his one-on-one. It's too late because he didn't have a clear picture from the jump. Like, yeah, it may look clear, but for one, because Travis didn't get moved, there's nowhere for him to go. Then you got Tavius caving it down. And Tavius is underrated in the run game. He does a great job of helping set edges and chasing stuff down and a lot of good stuff. He's real physical at the point of attack. And these are teams that we're probably going to see in the playoffs. And we've stopped the run on pretty much all of them, with the exception of, I think the Steelers got 100 twice. There was some big runs popped in there that they popped off too. But like this tall stuff. Look at Kyle come down here. Let him come down here. This is the ultimate guy to get in the run game. But for him to come down here, the edge got to be set. Look at Malik fighting like heck, set the edge. Now he's hooked, but he's fighting. Marlowe got to fight. You also got Brandon Stevens out there to fight. But the little gap that opens up, he's going to shoot it. That's instinctive. That's instinctive. You got guys that can do that. From the jump, the run game has been top notch, like hands down. So whatever the philosophy was preseason, it has carried over into early season, mid season, and now late season. If we can continue to stop the run on whoever they put in front of us, whether it be week 18, which is the Browns, or into the playoffs, we should have a really good chance of shutting down or slowing down whoever we play in the playoffs. So as long as the run game continues to add up and shut people down as a whole, and we're the number one run defense, we should dictate to other teams and be ready for the pass, because if that's all you can do, we should have answers to that. And hopefully we'll get some pass rush in the playoffs. So I just wanted to show you, like, early in the season, middle of the season, late in the season, the run defense has been on point. So shout out to the front seven. Add Kyle into that mix too, and now even add Ardarius into that mix, and Zach for turning things around. And even shout out to Halls for being in there and initiating whatever happened on that. So I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world. So I couldn't see the chat, so that's why I didn't say much to it about the chat. But I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. I'll see y'all in the next. Peace.